The Kalisk is an apex predator that was seen in the recent movie Predator Badlands, and it was the main target of the hunt that Deck, the protagonist of the movie, vowed to bring home as a trophy in order to fulfill a promise to his deceased brother and gain the rank of a blood hunter in his clan. But this creature isn't like any other. It is far more deadly than even a xenomorph or any other creature that the Yaoja have ever been up against, so much so that many predators have undertaken the mission to kill it and bring it back home, but have all failed. So here in this video we will explore this creature's profile, its habitat, place in the food chain, anatomy, life cycle stages, and most of all its regenerative abilities. Let's get to it. So here we land on Genna. This world, grimly nicknamed the Death Planet, it is a world that seems almost deliberately engineered to cull the unworthy. For the Yaoja, it is a proving ground for the most worthy of hunters. For Weyland-Yutani, it is a forbidden frontier holding biological secrets that is worth entire colonies in space. Its landscapes range from toxic vine forests to crystalline grasslands that can slice steel, and from mountain cliffs riddled with titanic parasites to swamps where acidic life forms lurk beneath the deceptively calm waters. Only the most resilient creatures can survive here, and most of them by becoming monsters themselves or adapting to the food chain. Deck chose this planet Genna as a testing ground because of its eagerness to prove its worth, as surviving even a single full cycle here is a mark of honor, and hunting the top organism, the Kalisk, is equivalent to challenging nature's own wrath. So now we come to the topic at hand, the creature at hand. A fully grown Kalisk is a towering quadrupedal titan. Its silhouette bristles with an intimidating fluff of quills and jagged spines all over the body. Every inch of its body is built for domination. It is colossal in size, with limbs extending in crushing claws, with dense corded muscles protecting by layered dermal plating or, armored skin, and a long prehensile tail which is capable of both grappling and impaling. The Kalisk itself is at the top of the food chain. It is a social carnivore. It forms bonds with others by pheromones and scent, often identifying each other by spit or even visually for those that share a closer link. This is evident with Bud, the baby Kalisk, spitting on Deck and also visually identifying him as a packmate. And what's even more terrifying is that this creature could very well be a pack animal like wolves and lions, but as intelligent as a primitive man and with bodies as big as massive dinosaurs. The creature, the adult, is around 20 to 25 feet tall and around 45 to 50 feet long, weighing several tons I would imagine. Its main food source, even for the young ones, are the bone bison, which are as big as elephants, and it would occasionally feed on other large items too. But like any other creature, as younger cubs or babies, if it is separated from the mother, it would be hunted by other larger carnivores as well, like the lunar bug, which would seek the chance to reduce its competition or deny the chance for the baby to grow into an adult that would hunt the lunar bugs themselves in turn. The Kalisk as predators are highly territorial, as one immediately came to defend its domain when Deck exploded the Weyland-Yutani vehicles. Need I say, they are also highly intelligent and probably sentient too, although not to a point where they need to invent things, as they are already genetically perfect and could survive everything, so there's no need for innovation. Now let's get into its life phases. This is not yet explained to us in detail as to how the Kalisk reproduce, but as far as we can tell, it has 3 distinct life stages or phases. Not a cycle like a xenomorph, but more of a slow and gradual transformative growth rate like the Demogorgon of Stranger Things. These phases are the baby stage, the juvenile stage, and its adult phase. And so let's take a look at how they grow and change, and along with the way, we will also get to know about its morphology and anatomy. So beginning with the baby stage, this is the earliest phase. The Kalisk resembles here like a rugged ape-like creature which is roughly a meter tall or 3.3 feet. Its face has expressive and oversized bulbous eyes. It has long forelimbs which allows it to swing, climb, and cling with ease like a monkey. Even at its early stage, it shows high sociability, forming tight-knit groups. When frightened, the baby Kalisk curls into a near-perfect sphere, presenting only its armored back, an instinctive defense mechanism that makes it nearly impervious to most predators, as even an adult lunar bug could break its teeth while biting it. These baby Kalisk are playful, curious, and remarkably smart. These younglings are known for manipulating simple tools and developing early pack hierarchies through mischief and exploration. Now stage 2 is the juvenile stage. So as it grows, the Kalisk enters a dramatic transitional period, now adopting a quadrupedal stance similar to a massive gorilla. It stands nearly 8 feet tall at the shoulder in a quadrupedal stance and weighs up to a ton at least. quills begin to erupt across its spine and shoulders. Although the eyes remain bulbous and white, the mouth transforms into something far more predatory, capable of unhinging like a snake's and revealing multiple rows of needle-like teeth that was capable of decapitating the head of Deck's father in one bite. This stage is probably marked by volatile behavior, which is kind of like the same for any apex carnivore. The playful curiosity mixing with sudden aggression as the juvenile learns to hunt and begins to display early territorial and pack instincts. Now, the adult phase. A fully grown Kalisk is a towering quadrupedal titan reaching 20 to 25 feet tall at the shoulder. Its silhouette now bristles with an intimidating forest of quills and jagged spines. Every inch of its body is built for domination, with colossal limbs ending in crushing claws, and it walks like a gorilla and runs like a gorilla. Its head is massive, angular, and roughly the size of a Yautja warrior, and it opens into a nightmarish mouth which is lined by countless rows and columns of sharp teeth. Its tail also becomes very long and retains its prehensileness. At this stage, the regeneration factor is nearly supernatural, as wounds are seen to heal in seconds, limbs regrow within hours, and even decapitation is not necessarily fatal if the head is recovered. The adult becomes the undisputed apex predator of its death world, and it is feared by all other megafauna of the death world. Now let's dive into the most interesting part of the Kalisk biology, the regenerative factor. While the Kalisk could be cut and injured, even have its head decapitated, the thing that makes it unkillable is that every wound heals in seconds. Even the head would be reattached to the body in a matter of moments. We have seen fast healing in sci-fi characters like Wolverine or Deadpool, and even see regenerative abilities like on lizards in real life, with these small critters growing their lost limbs in a matter of weeks. But here, the healing and regenerative factor is off the charts. Imagine having your head cut off only for tissue from your neck crawling and reattaching to the head and pulling it back into the shoulders. That is some next level shit. Let us ponder now with a little bit of pseudoscience on how this works, shall we? See, the Kalisk's regenerative capability in predator Badlands can be framed as a product of an extraordinarily sophisticated cellular communications network, as the body parts need to know where each body part would be if any part of it were to be decapitated, like the head for instance. See, rather than relying solely on biochemical cues, the Kalisk tissues might constantly broadcast a low-level cellular pheromonal field, a chemical signal diffusing through the air and extracellular fluid. This field acts like a homing beacon, allowing severed tissue such as the dismembered tail segment or even a decapitated head to maintain an active link with the rest of the body. Cells within the detached tissue and those within the main body would search for one another through these chemical signatures, aligning their gradients until physical connection or reconnection becomes possible. This form of signal-based body awareness allows the Kalisk to detect the location of missing parts as long as they remain in the near vicinity, making reattachment less a miracle and more of a consequence of extremely advanced bionavigation. For the Kalisk to regenerate so quickly, their cells would need to divide at a rate or a speed that would be fatal if it would happen to us humans, like us getting cancer in an instant. But Kalisk biology seems to be specifically built for this. When they get injured or wounded, their DNA doesn't really stay fixed. It might reorganize itself on the fly, and this would let different cell types switch roles depending on what the body needs at that particular point in time. Muscle cells can temporarily act like stem cells, ready to become anything. Skin cells can turn into a kind of support frame that new tissue grows on. Their metabolism would also suddenly kick into a supercharged mode into overdrive to fuel this rapid rebuilding phase. Because of this adaptability, if a limb is cut off, or even the head, cells around the injury quickly reset to an early, flexible state. It will multiply at high speed and then turn into exactly the tissues that would be required to rebuild the missing part, or at least to form some kind of connective tissue to find the missing piece of the body, like the head. The connective tissue would go onto the pheromones or the pheromonal field and reattach itself into the head and pull it back into the body. So essentially, every Kalisk cell carries the full blueprint of the entire creature and can take on any job needed to restore the body. So in a nutshell, the unkillable Kalisk is nature's top creature, a genetic perfection and a monstrosity to its prey. It is huge, it is fast, it is smart, and hunts in packs as well. And most of all, it can heal its wounds instantly, regrow lost limbs and reattach lost heads. Although cryogenic bombs could kill it from within, or maybe it could be burned to a crisp by tons of heavy explosives, which would not make it immortal, if you're thinking about that, it is still more hardy and deadlier than any other creature in the Predator franchise, even deadlier than the xenomorphs. And so with that, we end this video on the Kalisk of the Predator Badlands movie. Now do hit that like button for support, and do hype up the video by pressing the hype option after the like button for those viewing this in their phones. Also subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, fam.